more than anyone, Nelson Mandela has made modern-day South Africa. But his legacy of peace and equality has been damaged forever in the mining belt of Marikana, northeast of Johannesburg.
Is there a problem to film here?
No, there's no problem. Murder here, murder there.
The world's largest platinum mines operate here. It's wealth that's meant to benefit all South Africans. What happened here has betrayed Mandela's famous words he spoke at his trial before he was jailed for life in 1964 for opposing the apartheid government.
I have cherished the idea of a democratic and free society in which all persons will live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. It is an ideal for which I hope to live for and to see realized. But my Lord, if it needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die.
On the 16th of August last year, about 3,000 miners gathered at this spot in Marikana to demand a decent wage from the British platinum mining company Lonmin. They waited most of the day for a response. Xolani Nzuza was one of the organisers of the strike.
Still sahlala you 2-4 so sihleli lapha sithe sisahleli sabona amahipo sestarta manje udonsa amahipo sibona amabhasi emayini ebuya namahipo amaningi esehlisa amaphoyisa amaninzi.
Orders were given by the government to end the strike, so rapid response police teams were sent in. Tensions were running high. A week of protests had already resulted in 6 miners and 2 policemen being killed. Tear gas was fired into the crowd of miners and a group fled towards police lines. Police say the miners had firearms and were ready to attack. In front of television cameras, the mainly black police opened fire. In all, 34 miners were killed that day and 78 wounded. It is the most violent clash between police and workers since the end of apartheid.
Yeah, ngabona ngalondlela ukuthi sekubuye apartheid ngoba lezi sikhathi kwakuphethe abantu abamhlophe ngaba ababulala abantu abamnyama. Manje kuphethe umuntu omnyama ubulala abantu abamnyama futhi na sabona ukuthi akho sekubuyele apartheid abantu abamnyama manje ukuthi magcinezela umuntu omnyama ngabheki phambili.
Remarkably, Masolo Magidjiwana survived the initial burst of gunfire. He was hit in the hip and left for dead. This is him on the ground.
Kwabanzima kwababhlungu ke. Ukudutyulwa ngamaphoyisa. Bekunzima sengisithi nami ngiyafa ngoba ngangibona abantu besifa.
Is that you there? Are you on the ground? Is that you on the ground there?
Yes, you shoot me.
So you got shot, you fell? After checking, the police found that Masolo was still alive. In a claim that's been disputed, Masolo says he was turned over and shot 6 more times by a black policeman.
Kwaphinde kubuya omnye othetha isiXhosa. Kulapha buze khona lo uthetha isiXhosa. Utheni wena usaphila nje abanye befile. Watsho ke ngoku exesha ndidubulayo ndiphethulayo, watsho ndidubula. Yena lo izindawo zonke ndizibala ndidutyulwe ngumuntu. 1 2 3 4 5 6, 7. My future is fucked up now. It's not right.
But most of the killings happened out of sight of the cameras, in a small rocky outcrop 100 metres away. Many of the survivors of the first shootings came here to seek refuge. A policeman's mobile phone footage has emerged that suggests 22 were killed here, many of them shot in the back, most unarmed.
So where were you? Up here or?
But the strikers' ordeal was not over. In the days after the massacre, 220 were arrested and charged with the murder of the 2 policemen. Xolani says he was tortured to extract a confession.
Abefake plastic la. Balithela amanzi, abezalifaka balibambe lapha. Kwesayiti linamanzi, balifake la enhloko, bafike balifaka bambe la ukuthi angaphumi lamanzi. Kuthi maniphefumula amanzi angene la empumulweni. Bathi if into ndiyayazi.
Musolo too says he was intimidated and threatened while he was in hospital trying to recover.
Kodwa ndacheka ndinomnqa ndedwa ndizibuza uba waye mna ndicheka ndibanje abanye abantu bekhona abanye bebedutyulwe pha bekhona mna ndibanjiwe ndiyi-1 waye kwenzeka kanje namagama ke uphuma kwamaphoyisa amanye afika athi hayi this guy yile ibibulala amapolisa yile ibibanjwe iphethe isibhamu kodwa kumwatshethe wafika ingqondo nje eziqalelayo ndikhale ndedwa ndihlale ndihleli tshethe iphinde ifike loo nto loba hayi khona abantu bangayenza into enje ngoba bendibona ukuthi ndiyaphila maningalahli ithemba.
The Marikana massacre shocked the nation and the world. It evoked powerful memories of apartheid massacres like Sharpeville in 1960, where white South African police opened fire on black protesters, killing 69, and the Soweto riots of 1976, where 500 were killed. The African National Congress, or ANC, fought for decades to free South Africa. Since 1994, they've been in government. But now it seems they were turning their guns on their own people.
Asisenalo ithemba kwe-ANC. Because ngendlela akwenzeka ngayo. Kuyakhomba ukuthi ugovernment waye-involved kwikusithona kwabantu. Wabuya emveni kwesikhathi ukuthi mazokhuluma nabantu ukuthi le nto leyenzekile yenzeke njani azokuza ukuva ukuthi kwenzeka kanjani. So that's why sibonga ukuthi ANC asisenathemba kuyo.
The ruling ANC government has been forced to set up a commission of inquiry into the massacre.
As a democratic country, security forces have got to be under control. That's why there's an investigation. And we called upon everybody, put the cameras, even all news people, show us all the angles, what happened here, count the bullets on the ground, who died. And there's an inquest, there's an inquiry. It's run by independent judges, it's there. So I think it's a turning point, a warning that you're going the wrong way. It's a tragedy that should not have happened.
Whatever the Commission of Inquiry concludes, Marikana has highlighted the failure of the ANC's model of development. The country's massive mining wealth has not lifted the poor black majority out of poverty. Many of the miners and their families that work at Lonman live here near Vonderkop. It's a sprawling shanty town of homemade tin shacks where thousands survive with no running water or sewerage and limited electricity. Zamika Nongu's husband was killed in the massacre. She's been left with 6 children to support.
Inhliziyo iyavula umuntu ayijonge ayibone ngisebuhlungu kakhulu angabelieve ukuthi umyeni wami akekho angathi umyeni wami ukho lapha sabekwe khona kusazothiwa hayi mhlambe okanye ndizitshela uba ngamanye amaxesha okanye okanye ngisalela ngaze ngathi nje ndikwelinye ilizwe angabhilive ukuthi umyeni wami akekho.
Her friend Nonkulueko Ngxande also lost her husband on that day, leaving her with 2 young children. Without their husbands, these women have little income and little hope of a future.
Ubuhlungu kakhulu. Ndiyamcinga ngalo lonke ixesha. Andikholelwa ukuthi akasekho. Wesikona wakufumanisa ukuba kukho apho usafara khona ndimcinga kakhulu ngoba ube into yonke kum. Ubomi bethu bebuxhomekeke kuye.
They came from the Eastern Cape, one of the poorest provinces of South Africa, with a dream of a better life.
Thina besifisa ukuthi abantwana bethu bafunde, baqede ezikolweni, bathole imisebenzi ebalulekileyo ngoba umyeni wami besitsho ethi akasarhalela umntana wakhe ozoyongena emgodini emayini ngoba imayini inecinezelo.
These are the very people the liberation struggle was meant to help.
Ugovernment simthande oko nje waphatha South Africa. ANC sithanda kakhulu mara ngoku ngohlobo esibona ngalo ANC akuna ayinasizo ukuthi kozibulala abantu bayo ebebeyisupport ukuthi mayibe yiyo eyohlala eParliament iphathi ilizwe ngabantu ababulele nathi ufana ukuthi usibulele asena ndaba nayo kuba akho nto isenzele yona sibulalele kuphela.
Noma sihlupheka noma sibulawa ezweni sekulungile masithandaze noma sihlupheka noma sibulawa ezweni sekulungile masithandaze ke baba kulungile sekulungile.
Now they just have each other and broken dreams. They don't know how they will survive. Soon they'll return to their homeland in the Eastern Cape, 1,000 kilometres to the south. Not much has changed here since apartheid. Underpaid black labour still powers the mines, and it's mainly the whites who own the industry and take the profits. The only difference is that a tiny black elite have joined the white elite on boards of companies. In the late 1990s, the ANC government struck a deal with business. They would keep labour cheap and stable in return for some black ownership. Many see this arrangement has been at the expense of poor black South Africans, while a few, like Tokyo Sequale, have benefited.
The approach there was black economic empowerment to let black people advance. I'm one of them, by the way. I went into business for quite some time in mining, in the financial services and so on. Is it the only solution? Certainly not. It is just one way. It is just a way of getting people into the ownership of companies. But that's not what we're trying to do, to get everybody to become a businessman.
But it seems to have only benefited for a few at this stage.
Naturally, I'll accept that. I'll accept that because the approach is you can't turn everybody into a shareholder in the country. A government which is confronted with a lot of difficulties and challenges around education, health, poverty, and so on. These issues have got to be addressed. And I think we're getting there, but there are problems, and we must admit where there are not policy problems, because the policies are in place, but implementation and making sure that people are held accountable to what they're supposed to be doing.
In the absence of interim funding, the application for a postponement will be decided on Monday.
And the biggest accountability test for the ANC government is the Commission of Inquiry into the Marikana mine massacre.
The order we make is that the sitting of the Commission will be adjourned.
So far, the Commission, which has been sitting for 10 months, has been dogged by delays and false starts.
It would be a huge disgrace, it would be a huge loss. If the commission, for example, was to stop its work, I don't know what will happen.
The Commission has heard compelling evidence against the police actions. These pictures show how the police planted false evidence to try and justify the killings by placing weapons beside the dead for the official police photos, when photos taken earlier by the media show no weapons present. The widows and their lawyers are seriously concerned that the miners are going to have their legal funding cut by the government. And if that happens, they'll boycott the Commission.
Into ebesizela ukuthi inyane sise ku-commission ukuthi sizovutha abayeni bethu basole kanjani. So ngoku asibona kunje abasebenzi bengafuneka ukuthi bangene ngaphakathi bengenagqwetha benaloya yabo. Kuyasikhathaza ngoba ngabona babekhona ngela xesha kwakubulawa abayeni bethu. So xa bengakwazi ukuthi bangakhona igqwetha labo siziva kabuhlungu usho ukuthi obunyani bale commission abusekho.
It's also proving to be dangerous to be a witness at the Marikana Commission. 6 miners have been murdered just before they were to take the stand.
Crucial potential witnesses kept on dying. Unfortunately, we cannot, as legal people, pin it on any of the parties. But it is disturbing. It is disturbing to an extent that one of our advocates was also stabbed, and it was somehow suspected that it was linked to the commission itself.
There's little faith in the Commission. Currently in South Africa, about 9,000 police officers face criminal charges such as rape, corruption and assault. But less than 100 have ever been convicted.